Hey guys, it's Jamie, and today I am back with you guys, and I'm going to be sharing my review over the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This obviously has been raved about so much in the last 3 months since it came out, but as we all know, true Jaclyn Hill fans, this palette has been in the making for like over 2.5 years. So I actually got my palette the first sale that went out, so I've had it for about 2 months, I would say, since whenever it first came out. So I've been using this like crazy. Anytime I do my eyeshadow, I automatically reach for this palette. It has become my holy grail makeup palette, and I know before they decide to discontinue it that I'm going to buy myself another one because so many of these colors I can see myself running out of so quick. So I'm just going to start out with the look of the palette. It's just a papery, like cardboard box, wooden palette. Says the Jaclyn Hill palette and Morphe in the bottom, and obviously it's Jaclyn Hill's signature white and silver, her favorite. Then on the back there's a little JH's for Jaclyn Hill, and it just says Morphe times Jaclyn Hill. And I love the palette, but the only con I have about this is how it is like the papery cardboard. So if you get something on it, it's really hard to like wipe off and get off. I would have much rather seen something like plastic or even the shinier one so you could kind of wipe it off. But aside from that, the actual product is absolutely amazing. I have the whole palette on my eyes right now, and I'll tell you what colors as I go through, but I'm going to swatch them all for you and tell you guys all the names of them. And yeah, this palette is $38, and so many YouTubers have affiliation codes where you get 10% off, so I used Jaclyn's when I did it. I know Manny has one, Lauralee might, if you want to get a discount on it, $36 instead, go for that. Definitely save $2. Why not? So yes, I'll start by opening it. And the top, it just says, this palette is dedicated to all my loving subscribers, XO Jaclyn, and she signed it. Really cute touch to it. And then you just go in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 35 colors in this palette. And they range from very neutrals to obviously the very brights. Like I said, I'm sure you all have seen this, but I just kind of wanted to put in my review on this. So I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to swatch them all. And I've seen so many people come up with really cute ways to like label all of these. They put like the little names under them. I haven't got that creative, so I honestly don't really know many of the names of these. But like I said, I'm going to swatch them all and then I will let y'all know. So I'm going to go down the palette this way so you guys can see. There's 5. I'm just going to go down this way, and I'll let you guys know the colors as I go along. So the first one we have is in light, and I'm going to have to look at this card. Sorry, I don't know all the colors. So the first one is like a very satiny. You can kind of see it there. I'll swatch it on my hand. This is called In Light. This one is definitely the more whitey silver highlight. The next one is Creamsicle. This is a very mustardy yellow color. Looks like that. The third one I have is Obsessed, and this is definitely, it just reminds me of a pearl color, really pretty for a inner corner highlight. So the third one. The fourth one, which I have never used the purples or the blues yet, but it is called Royalty, and these are so soft. Like, for being metallics, like one swipe and that purple, absolutely gorgeous. That was called Royalty. And then the teal one is called Pool Party. And again, I have not used the teals or the purples or the blues. So there's Pool Party. As you can see, beautiful colors, gorgeous payoff. So I'll go through them again. This is In Light, the first one. Second one is Creamsicle. Third is Obsessed. Fourth is Royalty. And the last one is Pool Party. And then just to take all these off, I'm using a baby wipe to wipe them off. Alright, so that was the first row. I'm going to go down the second row. And the first one we have is Beam. This is another highlight shade, but this is definitely a more goldeny undertoned one. Which for me, I definitely prefer the more goldeny undertones just because I'm yellow undertoned. And the second one we have is called Butter. And this one I use probably almost every time I do my makeup as a good transition color. It's just medium kind of a warm tone brown. The third color is called SBN. And again, this is another metallic. And I have found out that the metallics do have some fallout. That is obviously normal for any kind of metallic eyeshadow you're going to be using. But it's not bad at all. It's one of the best metallics I've ever used. And I would describe this as definitely a more rosy gold. So there's that. The next color we have is the bright blue, and it is called Twerk. Again, I've never used this on my eyes yet. I would say it looks definitely bright blue in the pan, but on my arm, it looks definitely more of a purpley indigo color. That's that one. And then the last one is called Jada. Yes. And I remember her saying she named this after her niece, because it was her niece's favorite color. So that is Jada, the final one. So I'll go through them all again. The first one is Beam. The second one is Butter. The third one is SBN. The fourth color is Twerk. And the last one is Jada. Alright, so that was the second row, and I'm going to switch to the third row, and I'm going to go ahead and start swatching them on my arms now because the outside of my hand is kind of red. So starting with the third row, the first color is called Silk Cream. And again, this is a everyday shade I use as a transition color or just to lay my base. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on my skin tone because it almost matches the inside of it, but it's just a very cool tone mauve color. The second one is called Pooter. This is definitely a more warmer, darker tan. Again, for a brown, neutral, smoky eye, this color would be absolutely beautiful. Hopefully you guys can see that. The next color is called Hillster, and this is a reddish brown metallic. And again, these metallics are so smooth. It's absolutely amazing. Like, there's the swatch of Hillster. This is like a really awkward angle, so I'm going to do it this way. It's a definitely red tone brown color. The next color is called Hustle. And I would describe this as a cool, darker charcoal gray metallic color. It kind of looks a little lilac-y and purple on my arm. I have never actually used that shade. And the last shade in this row is called Diva. And this is the metallic version of the teal. It's definitely, I would say, a metallic lighter end of a hunter green. And again, it is so beautiful, as you can see. So I will go back. The first is Silk Cream. The second is Pooter. Third is Hillster. 4 is Hustle. And the last one is Diva. All right, now going to the fourth row. We are halfway done at this point. The first one is called MFEO. So I'm going to go back to the front of my hand to give the inside of my arm a break. And again, this is a color I use so much for just a transition shade, and it matches my hand almost identically. So I don't know if y'all are being able to see this, but this mixed with the other first color I showed you in the last row, together in my transition crease all the time. The second color is called Pukey. I did not realize that that was this color, but it really honestly does. It fits it. It definitely is just the Jaclyn Hill color. It's that orangey, browny, mustardy color. Really pretty for a very warm, smoky eye. I have used this, and I actually have this shade on my eye. At the end, I'll tell you every shade I have on my eye and where I placed them. The next shade is called Roxanne. Now, as we know, Roxanne is Jaclyn's middle name. Or you might not know. I know these things. I've been an avid subscriber to Jaclyn Hill for years now, so I know this. So that third one is Roxanne, a very matte, warmer burgundy, I would say. A little orange and burgundy mixed together. Very pretty. Again, another shade I have on my eyes. The next one is called Meeks. And I remember Jaclyn saying she named this shade after one of her friends. And this shade I have wore so much, and this is going to be so beautiful whenever it goes to fall. It is a metallic, like cool toned brown. So incredibly beautiful, so incredibly soft. And then the last shade in this row is a dark hunter green, and it's a matte, and it's called Enchanted. And I've actually never worn this on my eyes. I normally stick to the pinks, which you guys will see, the neutrals, and the reds. So this last one is called Enchanted. It is a dark matte hunter green, very pretty for the fall, I could see, and very good for blue and green eyes. All right, on to the fifth row. The first color is called Faint, and this color is one of my favorite colors in the palette. It's a light metallic pink, really good for highlighting the inner corner. As you can see, that's what that color is. Very beautiful, very metallic. The next color is called Hunts, and I do have this on my eyes today. It's definitely a very bright red orange brick shade. I have this all throughout my crease. And then at the end, I put this over top again because I wanted definitely the red to be brought out. So the red color is called Hunter. The third shade is called Jax. Yes. And again, this fits in the red burgundy family. It's another matte. And it is so beautiful. I have this on my eyes in the outer corners. The bright burgundy. I was feeling very fall-y today. I woke up and it was like 53 degrees outside. And I was like, I want to do fall makeup today. The next one is called 24/7. And it is a metallic dark chocolatey brown. And like I said, these are all so buttery and smooth, and they go on so nice. This last one is 24/7. And then the last one in this row is called Central Park. And I remember her saying that this was named after Friends. That's her favorite show. And this is just a matte chocolate brown. So you can use it in so many different looks. The very last one. So to go through all of them, the first one is Faint. The second one is Hunts. The third is Jax. The fourth is 24/7. And the last is Central Park. All right, now going back to the second to last row, this first one is probably my absolute favorite color in this palette, and it is called Sissy, and she named this after her sister Rachel because it is her favorite color. And this is a rosy pinky gold. And this color, the first time I used this palette, this is the first color I went to. It is definitely absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, a bright bubblegum Barbie pink with the gold reflex in it. It was absolutely gorgeous. The second color is called Firework, and this is a metallic reddy brown shade. This would have went with my eyes today, but I actually do not have it on. It's the second one called Firework. The third one is called Buns, and this is I would say it's a matte medium reddy brown shade. I would say more on the brown side. If you can see that. Definitely cool toned. Look really pretty with all the other mauves and reds. The next color is called Chip. And just hearing the name of this, it makes me think of a chocolate chip because that's about the color it is. It's just a very dark brown, but it kind of has like a purpley hint undertone to it. Definitely, yes, comes out very purple. So that is Chip. And then the last color in this row is called Soda Pop. And this is an even darker, it's almost like a navy mixed with a purple matte. Try to swatch it so you guys can see it really good. So this one is Soda Pop. It reminds me of like dark grape soda pop. So that is that row. Very beautiful. And like I said, my favorite color in this entire palette is Sissy, the golden pink. All right, and we're on to our last row. And the first row is called, or the first color of the last row is called Little Lady. And this is again kind of like the Sissy color, but it's a more cooler toned pink, but it is a metallic. So it does show up super well. I would say this is more of a corally pink instead of a more bubblegummy cool toned pink. It's definitely a warmer corally pink. The next shade is called Queen, and this is also probably one of my most used shadows out of this palette. It is a bright, true gold color. I use this if my everyday go-to look, it involves this second shadow called Queen. It's just a beautiful gold metallic. The third one is called Crayon Apple, and it is a metallic pinky brownie red, the best way I can describe that, but the swatch of it I think comes off more pink than anything. As you can see that it's definitely a bright hot pink. It's called Crayon Apple. The fourth one is called Mocha, and this is just a matte brown. Like it says, it's mocha. It just reminds me of a chocolate bar. On my skin, it does look a little more gray and cool toned as opposed to what it looks like in the pan. In the pan, it looks a little more warm tone, but that is mocha. And the very last color is called Abyss, and it is just a matte black. And I haven't used this color either in this palette, but for a black, like one swipe, look how pigmented that is for a black. It wasn't patchy, it's even, it's beautiful. So yes, this palette, for what you get, 35 colors, $38. You can make so many looks, warm tone, cool tone. There's highlighting shades, there's metallics, there's mattes, reds, purples, blues, greens. This palette is a versatile palette. And like she said, she wanted so many people to be able to use this palette, and I think she hit it right on the money. This is the most beautiful palette I've ever seen, and I honestly think this would be the only palette someone would absolutely ever need if they could pick one palette. So like I said, I got one already. I'm definitely going to repurchase the second one because I know so many of these shades I'm going to go through. So yeah, the Jaclyn Hill times Morphe palette I definitely think is a win. You cannot go wrong with this palette for this amount of money. So yes, get your hands on it if you can. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.